be up on my channel, keeping the chat safe, and so I come over here. I told you I show up.
Hey, that's real talk. That's real talk.
Yeah, and I seen that video with the guy with no arms. Yeah, you was, and like you said, that just shows the determination that some people drive. No arms, no hands, and he's still at the register at a grocery store taking orders. Ringing up orders, bagging orders, handing out change with no hands. So
with no hands, man, that was amazing to me. He has to have a lot of willpower to actually.
All right, man. Let me put on this. I got, look like a 55-year-old with put this down. Yeah, I am a 55-year-old. So Mr. Midwest, what we deal with, man, is gold. And you're going to hear a lot of things. And I'm going to give you the chance to be yourself. You don't need to worry about the script because all you're doing is being you. Pulling your own experience in. Mr. Martin, I need you to make sure your link is up there.
Yes, I put it in just right now.
Okay, I'm not seeing. I want to make sure it's on a blast. Far as across the screen where everyone can really see that. And where they don't have to guess at it because individuals they want everything simple, beautiful. So whenever you're ready to go live, man, let's do it.
Okay, well, I would like to introduce the family to a very special guest. His name is Mr. Fitzgerald. This is the man that's teaching me the ropes of how to accumulate gold and, most importantly, generational wealth, how we can build a foundation for ourselves to actually prolong ourselves into the future, because we already know what's happening around us, especially people who are living in impoverished areas. There's a big, huge thing that's going on that's called gentrification. And if you ain't got the money to live where you at, then pretty much you about to get booted out to somewhere else, to the boonies, where there's no opportunity and there's no place to grow. So I would like to also, let the family know that your mentality is very important. If you have your mind in the right state of mind, then you're able to make moves to grow and to help others grow as well. But if you have a very poor mentality, in fact, if someone were to give you $1 billion tomorrow and you have a poor mentality and you don't know what to do with your funds, then you can go flat broke within a week. So you have to make sure that you know what you want, how you want to make your money grow, and so forth. So with that being said, Mr. Fitzgerald, oh, and another thing, your wealth is your health, because you can't be wealthy if you ain't healthy. All right, Mr. Fitzgerald, you take the floor.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to say hello, everyone. And Mr. Marvin, I appreciate you for having me on your platform. It's something I don't take lightly, not at all. It's a great responsibility to be able to talk to people, and they come into people's homes and, and be trusted for them to tune into you. My name is Fitzgerald Stevens. I'm a VIP KaratBar affiliate entrepreneur located down here in Tampa. And so what my business deals with, our business rather, deals with the accumulation of assets, and then so I want to go into a couple things, but I got from my mentor, Mr. Michael Delco, why are most people broke? Why was I broke? Why are you possibly broke? What do the wealthy do that the middle class and the poor and the poor just seem not to understand? Because if hard work were to make you wealthy, there are people in Africa, women carrying pails of water on their head right now that would be billionaires. There are single mothers across this nation that would be millionaires. Single fathers that would be millionaires. Even married fathers and stuff. Hard work does not make you wealthy and stuff like that. Duplication of your efforts is what makes you wealthy. You have got the number one. If you're going to accumulate, if you're going to grow wealth, here's the first thing you got to learn. Now, it may be a little quick and it may be a little complex. Here it is. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. You are the one to go out there and get the resources. You are the one to go out there and spend your time and your sweat equity, acquiring that. You mean to tell me the person who's producing who's producing the income, the person who's creating that labor, the person who's earning that money, you're telling me the gas man is more important than you? You're telling me the mortgage man is more important to you? You telling me the church man is more important to you? You telling me the car man is more important to you? All those things have their places, but you have got to pay yourself first. Second key to that is that when you pay yourself first, you got to pay yourself in what is called an asset. In other words, something that is going up in value and things. The asset we choose to pay ourselves first is gold. That is a gram of gold literally sitting in my hands. Now, I don't know if you guys know this about things, but gold is money. Gold is what backs money. Money is only as good as the gold that is backing it up. Gold appreciates in value. Oh, it's not real glamorous. It just has steady increases. Like you take since about 2011, gold was like 1,100 an ounce. I think it's up to 1,500 an ounce right now, Mr. Martin. If you just had saved this, you're light years ahead of someone who didn't. Now, what I mean pay yourself for? What I mean pay yourself first? Top economists like Robert Kiyosaki and many of the world over, they are telling us get your wealth out of paper, get your wealth out of cash, get your wealth. Why do you want to get your wealth out of cash? For two things: inflation, which is is eroding the purchasing power of your money, and then taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, before I called Mr. Martin today, I was in Walmart making the Walton family wealthier than what they already are. Okay, and so I'm sitting over there, and I just got a few items, just a few. 20 years ago, those items that I got would have probably cost me somewhere in the neighborhood of like $32 or something like that. Today they was 56. Has the items necessarily got higher? No, but the purchasing power of my dollar has decreased. That's why you want to get yourself in assets. The rich put their money in assets. They pay themselves first in assets. Gold, real estate, precious artworks, diamonds, silver, things that's going up in value. The poor pay themselves in liability. They pay everyone first, and they feel an asset is something like neighbor of their home. No, your home is not an asset until it's paid off of you on the deed, and then it's appreciated in value. A flat screen TV on Black Friday sale, that's definitely not an asset. A new car, that's not an asset. It depreciates the moment you take it off the lot. So we have got to put our money and our paper into asset accumulation. I want you to think that. Now, once you got that, okay, you paid yourself first, check. You put your money in assets, check. Now the third thing is you want to be able to duplicate your efforts. The three men of us are sitting around in there. And we decide to play the little old game called tug of war, and we got one strong man, probably a man that's stronger than us individually. He's definitely stronger than us individually. He's on the end of the rope, but it's three of us to his one. Who do you think's going to win every time? Not sometime, every time. Because I'm able to leverage my two brothers' efforts just with mine, and we both can get the victory. So when you leverage the work of others, you only have so many hours to put into the day. You only have so much sweat equity that you can put in. But if you're able to leverage the works of others, you can vastly increase your wealth with less time doing it. The wealthy people use leverage. They use that duplication. Your boss on your job uses you for leverage. Yeah. You know what? You go ahead and work for him or her. You know what? They get a certain bonus based on the work that you do to help them create a greater payout for themselves. They didn't do the work. They just leveraged you. And that's the thing what we have to understand. And so what is KaratBars? Why are we so excited about KaratBars? We found a way to leverage our efforts. Now, KaratBars is an e-commerce company. Okay, it was started in 2011 by a gentleman by the name of Harold Constantine Sykes. It's right next door, literally, to the Mercedes-Benz headquarters. What it is, we are the largest distributors of small gold increments. That thing right there you see in the middle, that is 1 gram of pure gold. And I could take and pay these men right now for any goods and service they have, and they would take this gold over cash. They would definitely prefer taking the gold over cash, because they know in something like 2 or 3 years, 6 months, this is going to be worth more than what it is right now. That's an appreciating asset. And then so what we do, we pay ourselves first in gold. Now, we're an e-commerce business, and we are located in 146 countries right now. Don't let what I just slipped over your head. 146 countries. I run a global business by way of my cell phone and computer. Currently, I have over 8,000 business partners in my organization right now, including Mr. Marvin, who are simply saving gold for themselves, increasing theirs and their family network, leveraging their efforts, leveraging their time and efforts by helping other people and getting paid in euros to do that. It's free to join. That link right there, what Mr. Marvin has, that's it. That's the link to his business account. You can have 2 accounts within KaratBars, but I'll get to that later. So click on that link. It takes about 7 minutes to join. When you click on that link, you are going to have a global business, a home-based business that started for free, complete with all the tax write-off and business, tax write-off that you can enjoy from having a business. Okay. The business laws, ladies and gentlemen, in this nation are designed for the business owner. That's why they get certain breaks. That's why you can read about big companies like Amazon or Microsoft or Dell Computer making hundreds of millions of dollars in profits and practically paying 0 taxes on it, as well as they should. They have the write-offs, they create the business, they create the jobs and stuff like that, so they should get concessions. But you can run your home the same exact way. You can run your home the same exact way. Listen, I'm 55 years old. I've seen a lot walking around on the Lord's earth. Okay, let me tell you something. You need resources. You need resources. You don't need resources in God's heaven, but you certainly need it on God's earth. And what I mean, you need resources. You need to accumulate resources. Resources that outpace inflation. That's why the wealthy park their money in real estate, be it like a Grant Cardone or H.G. Russell down in Atlanta, or they park their money in gold or precious artworks. Gentlemen, I don't know if you guys ever wonder, why would this dude pay something like $30 million for a Andy Warhol painting, or like $60 million for like 12 Fabergé 8s, Russia Fabergé 8s? Why do they do that? That don't make no sense. Well, it does make sense, because he's getting it out of that cash. He puts it in that Andy Warhol painting that he paid $30 million for. Now in 5 to 10 years, he's selling it later for $50. That Fabergé 8, he paid something like $20 million for it. Okay, in a few years, he's selling it for $37. So $17 million in equity, $20 million in equity. That's why most of the wealthy people, they will buy these homes, whether like artists like Master P or Puff Daddy. I don't know what is real. Sean Combs, I guess. Or like Eminem or these great actors and businessmen. People have the wise disposable cash. That's why they'll swap like houses and buy these houses. I know there's one of my favorites. I don't know much about music, but I certainly watch her real estate hustle. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a global artist, the genre between country, blues, and rock. Young lady's probably about 27, 28 years old, but she will pay millions of dollars for real estate. She would just do that, just switch it out, in high-end real estate. And then they'll sell it within their group, and they're making, when that thing sells, $5 million, $7 million. 2 million, 3 million off an investment like that. They're rolling that into other investments and things like that, what's increasing their equity. Well, a lot of us don't have that type of money. So that's where a company like KaratBars comes in. You can literally sit and open up your free global business by clicking on that registration link right now. It'll take you about 7 minutes to fill out. When you fill that out, you're going to say you're registered. You go to your email, verify the link, and then then you're going to be in business. Then in turn you're going to receive a call from Mr. Marvin. He's going to welcome you to the team. And then what I want you guys to do is give me a personal call. And here's my personal cell number, 1-716-573-6296. That's 1-716-573-6296. My email address is Fitzgerald Stevens, my first and last name, at gmail.com. That's Fitzgerald Stevens at gmail.com. What is my role? You give me a call and say, hey, Mr. Fitzgerald, I signed up under Mr. Mars, KaratBar lead. Tell me more about it. That's going to put me in motion. I am going to show you and tell you exactly what you have in your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the reason why Mr. Mara was able to come up here, because that's what I took about several hours to do that with him. It was a pleasure doing it, but it's really easy, and so you set your own business. Now, what does that mean? Instantly, you got your own business. Well, you got all the tax deductions of a business. So this stream right here, Mr. Marvin can write a part of this internet bill off. That shirt and that beautiful hat he has on his head, he can write that off because that's considered a work uniform. Okay. If I come over there to see him in Oakland, California, and I say, man, you know what? I just want to go to Raylan's Museum, man. I'm just feeling it right now. And I go over there and I say, you know what, man, that look like it'd be a KaratBar. That look like it'd be a nice KaratBar thing. We ought to set up a meeting here. Guess what? All those tickets that I paid for to go to that museum, all the food, that Uber ride, all that's tax deductible. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to minimize your tax benefit while at the same token investing in assets that's raising your wealth, you have a powerful 1-2 punch. See, the wealthy can't, the rich, the poor can't do that. They gotta save what's left over, so they think. And then they feel they gotta invest their money in liabilities. Hey, you know what? I like nice cars, and particularly Audi A8s, black with the silver trim. Love that with the wood grain and stuff like that. And then open up the doors and you got those Olympic rings, the 5 rings of Audis. Man, I just dig Audis. But right now, I drive a 2015 Toyota RAV4. I'll be able to eventually get that, but as I'm collecting my assets, as I'm collecting gold-backed cryptocurrency, I'm slowly building a network. Very soon, my network will be, somewhere close to 80,000 affiliates over the world. It's 8 right now, but it'll easy up there. Very soon, I'll be making, money that I can walk in there and pay that thing cash off, because that's what I want. I'm not interested in financing anything. I'm not interested in doing that. And what I probably would do like that, Mr. Marvin, I would buy that through my business account. Can I consider that the business vehicle the only I drive? And let the business take the deductions and the depreciation deduction and the mileage and everything like that. So this is what we're talking. You know what? I know what it is when someone walks you out off of a job. I know what it is, when you get a health scare and your income is threatened. I know what it is when a relationship breaks up, and you have to start all over again. I know what all those things is. I'm a University of Alabama grad. My degree's in international advertising. I grew up on a small farm in Southeast Alabama town, about 100 people. And you know what? So what I learned that you got to work hard. People are not going to give you anything. People will help you if they see you helping yourself. I promise you, those 2 men up there, I can show up at their place right now. They're going to help me. But after a while, they see me out there, and I'm enjoying their air conditioning more than they doing. And they come in at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to get the side out. They're going to wonder what the heck's going on, because, you can't do that. But if I need some, I need some help. Here's what I'm going to pay you back. Based on what I do. So they're going to do that. But people can only do that for so long. You can't help anyone if you don't have something to help with first. And so we're talking about building a global business, a residual income business, income that when you do the work one time or a couple of times, the money keeps coming in, keeps paying you in euros on a MasterCard. I'm digging mine out right here. You're getting paid on this. A KaratBar's MasterCard that's loaded up in euros. Euros are worth more than the dollar, the Japanese yen, the British pound, the Nigerian naira, the South African rand, the Iraqi dinar, the Canadian dollar. It's one of the strongest currency in there. So I go ahead and get paid in euros. Meanwhile, my gold and gold-backed cryptocurrency is appreciating. Meanwhile, my global distribution network of 8,000 affiliates is appreciating. Already more people have come in my organization while I'm sitting up here talking to you guys now. And I'm creating wealth. I'm minimizing my tax liability because this is a small business. If you notice, I'm working from home. Mr. Marin's working from home. The gentleman up in the right, he's working from home. So I want you to understand something. When you go to work every day, it costs you. It costs you in gas. It costs you in time. It costs you being away from your children. People are getting tired of that. That's why they're coming out in droves looking for home-based business and stuff. Now, what's the worst thing going to happen for you in KaratBars? You got a whole bunch of gold in your garage? You got a whole bunch of gold in your hand that's physically sent to you? And this is what we're talking about. So enough of my story. I'm going to let Mr. Marin, our guest, talk a little bit because both of them are successful men themselves. So what are they seeing? Why they're talking to them? Why are they sitting around and coming in there? Oh, by the way, they haven't given that up. They just use this to enhance. Because what if you could create an extra 3,000 to 5,000 euros coming in your household a month? What would that mean? What would that mean to a lot of you guys? Just a month, just off your side hustle, like you said. I'm not talking about going to get a second job. I'm talking about building something that you own, something that can be transferred to your wife and children, your loved ones, something to be sold as a business, just extra, coming in residual. What would that mean to you if you could create that? I can tell you what it's doing for me. I can tell you what it's doing for me. Because, when I finished, when I got out, a short couple of years ago, I didn't have no financial future. I was working hard, software salesman. I didn't really have anything going on. And then my sponsor, Michael Delco, gave me a call to Fitzgerald. I got something you really need to look at. It deals with gold and it's free to join. Well, I've been knowing the man for 20 years. I said, Michael, go ahead and sign me up. Turned out to be the best decision I've made financially ever. And so I'm in front of you guys talking about, how I got there. And as Michael helped me, and as Mr. Marin will allow me to help him, so will I help each and every one of you who want it. Mr. Marin, if you just go ahead and talk to your audience the way you know how, man, I'm just going to be quiet. Or if you have any questions you want to ask me.
Oh, no, I just wanted to interject there's an echo. Hold on. All right. Okay, so what I really wanted to say is that when the economy crashed, I think it was, when was it, 06, 07?
I know 2008, man, because I lost a lot during that time.
Oh, okay, all right. So it was that time, 2008. I remembered I was working as a security guard for these high-end stores. And what I started realizing is that people from Europe were flying in droves because their euro was a lot stronger. So they were able to come over to the United States and purchase a lot of high-end goods here because of the strength of the euro. And I think people need to put that into consideration because we already know that the dollar right now is really not even worth 50 cents, I don't think. It's lower than that. And every day that we live, they're just printing out more money, so that means inflation is going up, right?
Yeah, you think about that. Let's you and I go ahead and go down our basement and for Federal Reserve and SEC. I'm making a joke. I'm not doing like you guys can do. Let's go ahead. Let's go down there. You and I go ahead and get us some colored paper and in a cutter and go down our basement and talk about we want to just print money and see how well that worked for us. This is literally what these cats do. They just go down there and create money out of thin air and charge you interest on something they created out of thin air. And then they tell you, lo and behold, up in our age, they tell us three, man, hey, you owe us $23 trillion in debt. and your children's children owe it. Matter of fact, you ain't even paying. You ain't even paying the principal. You ain't even keeping up with the interest. And so I got to borrow, and borrow and keep borrowing. Actually, the Federal Reserve should be a very illegal entity. Congress alone has the power to print and coin money. That's it. Congress alone has the power to print and coin money. It doesn't belong to a private institution. There ain't nothing federal about them. They're a group of private bankers that literally hijack the economy, that they can sit up there and say that, okay, we print money, we decide what? We want to release more money in the system? I mean, think about that. We do that. We're in Leavenworth. We're in federal prison. We do the exact same thing they're doing. And so you got to learn how the game is being played. You got to get your wealth out of cash and paper. And you got to put it in something like gold. Gold has been money for the last 5,000 years. You got to put it in something like real estate. You got to put it in something like silver. You got to put in something like, precious artwork, something that's going to capitalize. Now, why do I like gold so much? Why am I so big on this? It's been money for the last 5,000 years. But gentlemen, don't think that because we're this great super country, which we are, that what happened to Greece and Venezuela and Zimbabwe with hyperinflation kicking in can't happen here. Dude, we are $23 trillion in debt. What happens when the real owners show up and say, I want my money? All the real estate in the country, is not worth that. And it keeps going up every day. What happens when it? What happens when that dollar you said is 50 cents right now? And I don't know exact figures. What happens when it's in negative appreciation? How are you going to trade goods and services? Mr. Marvin, I can come there and say, hey, listen, I need some cooking oil. You take this with a cooking oil?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I need some gas. Will you take this? You might tell me, hey, Fitzgerald, that whole wheelbarrow of paper dollars you have right there won't buy a loaf of bread. You can keep it. As a matter of fact, man, I need something to start a fire with. That's what worthless paper is. That's what paper is. And fiat currency basically always goes back to its intrinsic value, which is zero.
Nothing.
Which is zero. And so you got to understand that. Now you want further proof? I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just painting real life situations going on right now. Not a doomsday scenario. What's going on right now? We see, Mr. Marvin, have you noticed that countries are amassing gold? They're building up their gold reserves, whether it's the Soviet Union, China, India. These countries are seeing what's going on. Iran, these countries like, man, you know what? A lot of them cats done said, you know what? Let me pull my gold reserves, out of the United States or wherever the heck they are. Let me bring them home.
Yeah, and
I'm bringing my gold reserves home. I'm going to bring it home. I'll store my stuff. Why are they doing that?
And because they're also dropping the dollar.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing, because one of the big saving things about our country that I love. I mean, this is all I know. And so my family's been in this country, that's particularly down in Alabama for over 200 years. I'm part of the fabric just as anybody else is here. And that can go on record. But one of the things that makes our currency so powerful is the world reserve currency so far. That means that oil, which is particularly, the main commodity, the economic engine of the economy is oil. All the oil's contracts have to be purchased in U.S. dollars. Well, other companies like China, in the Soviet Union with the ruble, they're like, man, forget that. You cats got too much power over our economies because we got to deal with you. I'll tell you what, we don't want to do that. We'll deal with our own country. We'll go to the euro. We'll start our own country. I tell you what, we will think about that. Better yet, I ain't too cool with them cats neither. We're gonna start using the blockchain to trade. Mr. Marvin, this is happening right now. We're gonna start using the blockchain. Contract facilitated between me and thee. And nobody else needs to get in that. We don't need the International Monetary Fund getting in it. We don't need the U.S. on it, saying something, because one of the powers of the U.S. and other governments, they do it too. And they don't like how hustle like you moving, say like maybe France or Western Africa, they'll put a little thing called sanctions on them, and they'll dry up their money stream. Well, if Western Africa say, man, forget your money, we'll start our own. We don't need your stuff. What power do you have?
That's right.
You know, what power you have besides going in doing an invasion and doing things like that. This is the way the game is played. Likewise, it is right here. You know, if you keep continuing paying in paper and your stuff is start going down, and you know, and you start losing value. Now, what someone said, oh, that house that you have, you know, you paid $100,000 for it. Nah, you need money. Go ahead and sign it over, and I think I'll pay you $35,000 cash right here, right now. You're desperate, but if you can understand that concept, you can understand the way that the game is being played and stuff. But if you have gold, you have in a hard asset. Now, I tell you what, you know, I'll buy your house for this. You know, and it won't take and as the purchasing power of gold goes down, I mean the purchasing power of dollars goes down, the value of gold goes up. So pretty soon it'll take less of these to do what that dollar did, because it's going up and the dollars is going down. It's nothing but a win-win situation, Mr. Marvin. I can see that smile on your face because the light bulb went on, man. And, you know, that's the way it's done. That's the way it's done. Yes. Now, I'm going to give the gentleman a chance up in the right to introduce himself and talk to us about his background, and and to just see if I'm, making sense. And no, we didn't script anything. We didn't script anything. We just coming on here just talk about real life. You don't need an MBA to understand the way things are flowing now. You don't need to go to Wharton Business School. Man, you know what? A lot of you cats on this stream right now need to join just to start putting a dent in your student loan debt. Oh, you may have the title. They may call you Dr. Feelgood or Miss Goodshine, whatever you want. Okay, but at the end of the day, you know that you have probably paid 6 figures to get that prestigious degree that you have. And what they're paying you coming out, it's going to probably take you somewhere between 12 to 15 years to start even breaking even where you're making a salary to start really attacking these loans. I ain't even brought up your cost of living. I ain't even brought up, if you have children. Gentlemen, do you know people are delaying families right now because of student loan debts?
Oh, yes, big time.
You know that? You know, people are delaying getting a home, so they're spending all that money in renting right now because they can't come up with the 10 to 20% down payment. Because wait a minute, if you got $800 coming out for one student loan and you're married to someone, they got $1,200 coming out. You got $2,000 coming out of your household before you did anything. How are you going to have any room to spend if you got the average salary in this nation is somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000, $55,000 and $60,000? There was one time in my life I thought that was a lot of money. I thought if I had that, I remember there was one time in my life I thought I thought $40,000 was a year was a lot of money. But I didn't factor in taxes. I didn't factor in cost of living increasing. I didn't factor in I didn't have a business and I couldn't write any of that off, gentlemen. I didn't factor in that in. So out of that $40,000, you may be taking home. You're going to pay the government between state and federal, depending on where you live. You're going to pay them somewhere along the line 35 to 40 some percent. On the high end, if you live in California, it's up there. You live in New York. Thank God down here in Florida, we have no state income tax. But Mr. Marvin, one thing, you got my respect, man. Just the fact that you able to hold on in California is enough, man. I don't know what you guys be doing over there, man. $5 for gas. Got one of the largest homeless problems in the nation because people can't afford those prices. How in the world does someone come up with a down payment? A couple come up with down payment. It's a renter's market's dream over there. People working 2 hours, 2 jobs and working, going head over end. They're passing each other in the house. The wife and husband are passing each other, eroding their marriage because they can't spend time together. They can't spend time together. I remember I used to be on the plane when I got sick. I used to play my own doctor. You know why? Because I didn't have health insurance. I didn't have health insurance. And if I did have the health insurance, I couldn't afford the ridiculous co-pays that kept going up. So I got pretty good at doctoring my own body. I got pretty good at, using old country remedies. You guys probably going to laugh at me, but it's true. They told us that in my neighborhood, just take some ginger ale and Pepto-Bismol and soda crackers, you'll be all right. I'm not playing. This is where people are these days. People are having to choose between food, and home. They're having to choose between putting gas in the car to go to work or putting gas in the home to keep it warm. This is not cool. So that's why you need to do a home-based business to put some equity in far as your house, something that you can build, something you can create a residual income so you can avert financial disaster. And like I said, I would like to hear from the gentleman up in the right. And, you know, when I'm done talking, that's a little bit about my background, and that's who I am.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Midwest in the building, y'all. What's going on? I'm Midwest. I'm in the YouTube community. I have a channel as well. And I was listening to you far as about, you know, the 3,500 bringing in, you know, helping out the family and all that. That's cool because working from home, you know, you set your own hours. You don't have to get up and running when someone else, you know, demands you to be here at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. When you at home, you set your own hours. And then at the same time, I understand a lot of things that you were talking about as far as being in debt and things like that. I look at that different because I understand the out. You know what I'm saying? Because I realize that the debt really isn't ours, you know. So with that being said, we call him King Wage, and you call him Mr. Martin or I don't know what you call him. But he follows my movement. We're freeing people from this debt system. You know, we're letting people know what's really going on. We're showing people that the things that's being created and sent to them is not really theirs. You know what I'm saying? So with the gold, yeah, I'm with that because I follow the RV, the revaluation of the currency, and gold is on the soar right now. So once, you know, like that gold, that card that you hold right there, yeah, I wouldn't mind being in a part of that because now I'm setting the pace for my kids. You know, I'm breaking the curse, the generational curse. I'm setting a foundation. You see what I'm saying? And it's about the foundation that you set. If your foundation is solid, then you'll be able to build on it. But if you don't have a solid foundation, regardless if it's gold, silver, or platinum, or real estate, or whatever, if your foundation isn't solid, eventually it's going to come down. So we teach people how to have a solid foundation. Then we build up. And I'm very interested in what you're talking about because I know the euro right now. I know the prices and the rates of the currency because I follow it. So I was kind of shocked that he hadn't mentioned it to me already. You know what I'm saying?
well, it's not that he hadn't mentioned. Mr. Marin is just like you. His eyes just switched on. You know, he was in it, but man, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he got a good meal in San Francisco or maybe Kawhi Leonard, he saw something, but he called me just a few days ago and about like 2 weeks ago, man, he said, okay, Fitzgerald, I'm ready to move. And so I started talking about the structure. So he set up his his personal account. He came in as a gold in his personal account. You know, that's you got 4 levels of packages. And then he sponsored a business account, which he came in as a VIP. Hey, Mr. Marin, how did those 300 euros you earned for spending your own money feel to you?
Oh man, I felt good. It's like
because it's just we just talk a little bit stuff like that because I told him what was going to happen, and I said, listen, dude, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to show you how to roll your own money and get back on your own money, and I'm going to show you how to flip it. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. This is what's going to happen. I told him this is what's going to happen. It happened just like it was. So what he's done put himself in a massive position where he can build global wealth. Not only where he's going to put himself where he can get paid 10 times a month because he has both a personal and business account. He's going to be accumulating gold. You know, imagine accumulating gold as much as you want when you want. Man, we got a thing here, and I didn't show it much right here. And for those of you who think gold is out to reach, this right here is what you call, let me focus in on it. Okay, here's what we call cash gold. That little bitty thing in there, that gold, that is actual gold. 0.01 gram of gold. 10 of these guys equals 1 of these guys. You can pick this up for somewhere like less than $7. $7. And so there's something for everyone's budget, but get into asset accumulation. Now you may say, well, this ain't for me, Fitzgerald. This ain't for me, Mr. Marin. Cool. But what a residual income is? You have got to create something that you own, something that pays you. Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. I say again, if you don't find ways to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. This is fact. You see these cats and you see these cats down here at Walmart and someone's grandfather stuff. Man, they ain't there because they want to get away from the wife. They ain't there because they bored. They there because that 40% pension that they couldn't live off 100% ain't cutting it. And the purchasing power is gone down. They're there because even with the Social Security added on to it, they're not able to do anything. Sure, they got the house paid off. Sure, they got it. But you know what? They didn't factor in property taxes accelerating. They didn't factor that in. You know how many good people are losing their homes just because of property taxes? And that's by design. You know, if I really want an area and I want a gentrification, sir, you smiling at me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's by design. I decide I want to get a neighborhood, and you see a lot of stuff. It used to be where people are moving out the city. Now they want to come to the city. Those city properties are paid for. How are you going to do it? Simple. I just jack the property taxes up. Yeah. And so you paying like $1,500 one day, then I come back around, I slap you with a bill for $48. And then after that, it comes at $72. How long is it going to be before Miss Grandma has to sell that home?
Right, because she can't make the pay.
And that's the way the game is played. You know, they just come in and take it through these little methods. But if I can ride it out, if I got income coming in, man, raise it what you want. I can pay it. And then I can get fair market. Now you're going to pay me what it's really worth. Now that home that I paid, you know, like $75,000, you don't happen to be in the San Fernandino Valley or San Jose. You know what? Yeah, I need about $3.5 million for that dog right now. That's a fact. And I don't need to go down. You know, I can wait you out. This is the way it is. Stuff is going on, but you got to have that. You got to have something up in equity. You ever wonder why the wealthy people 10 o'clock in the afternoon while you going to work, you seeing them they on the golf course?
Man,
you ever notice one
around the block?
You ever wonder about that? You ever wonder why some cats you can see they can show up at their daughter's recital even though it's 11 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday? You ever know that? Because they have duplication in work. Their money is working for them to create money. Money is nothing but a slave. Understand that. Money is a slave. Its job is to go out and beget more money. Read The Richest Man in Babylon to understand that concept. A book by George S. Clinton. It would change your life. Next to Proverbs. Tell you more about money than anything. He said the first thing, pay yourself first. And then money begets money. No, you got to do that. And invest in something that you know. Some cat going to sit up there and say, man, you know what, cats? No, man, this big .com boom might going on, man. We the next Netflix. You may are, but if you don't know anything about it, you dare not risk your principal in that. But someone said, man, gold is money and gold keep going up. And I get this with here, not futures or not a futures contract, real live gold. That might be something. I can acquire that. I can acquire that. So what we're doing right now in Queen Columbaum, I love your call, your comment. 2020 is a call for action. Enough talk. She's right. It's about asset accumulation. Now, what's the vehicle?
I agree.
What's the vehicle? KaratBars. Register your free account. Start paying yourself first. Start diverting some of your salary to your house and putting it in the gold. Start telling other people, duplicating your earths, and start making a lot of money by doing so. Save a lot of gold and gold-backed cryptocurrency. Tell a lot of people, make a lot of money. But ladies and gentlemen, I wish I could tell you that you got to run around the building 7 times and swim across the Suez Canal and come down here, you know, and jump up at 3 times with jumper jacks. No. Wealth is built very simply, but it's a system. It's a system. You know, you can cook a better hamburger in your kitchen better than McDonald's, but McDonald's has a system. That the Ray Kroc family owns a system. The Cathy family of Chick-fil-A own the system. They do everything the same way. So while you're going in there, you're buying the system. The system is what creates wealth. And so in this game, You got to create your own network system, drive products and goods through that service, i.e. gold, where you're giving people value, not lotions, potions, or facial rubs. And then something is going up in value, and the greater your network grows, the more growth it goes, the more products that move to that, the more your income increase. That's exactly what makes Jeff Bezos the richest man in the world. Amazon don't really produce products, but they can run everything from that T-shirt that gentleman has on there to the caps all three of us have, and Amazon gets a small percentage of that, and Jeff Bezos, because he owns the system. Imagine that, guys. A man who has to pay his ex-wife something like close to $70 million, and he's still $70 billion, and he's still one of the richest cats in the world, about 170 million, and his wealth is still going up. Think about what I just said, because he owns the system. And that's what you want to do. You got to own systems. The rich own networks that the poor and the middle class work for.
Right.
So that's what KaratBar is, a network. Take action. Sign up or register up on that link. 7 minutes to join. They're not going to ask you for a credit card. They're not going to ask you for anything like that. Click onto the registration. You're going to get a call from Mr. Marvin thanking you for joining on there. He in turn is going to tell you to turn you on to help me. And I will let Mr. Marvin speak out of his own mouth and see that I not keep my word. And see that the phone he called me on was actually my real number. I'll just let him talk about that.
Oh, man. I can tell you this much, that Mr. Fitzgerald has been the most legitimate person that I have ever ran into in the course of business, because I have done a couple of ventures before in the past where people would give you empty promises. They would promise you that, you'll be living, a good life and you'll be able to sustain yourself. And what happens to be is that they were just after your money the whole time, and there was nothing that was ever given back. So, yeah, I probably got dipped a few times, but I mean, that was just a lesson being learned. And now that I have actually found Mr. Fitzgerald, he's the one that's been showing me the ropes on how to work this system and everything else, and I'm actually benefiting from it. And also, you must always remember that this is something that it's the gift that keeps on giving. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what more better of a opportunity do you have than that? Especially when you're investing, your hard-earned money into something that's going to give you more value to your life.
I appreciate the kind words. The gift that keeps on giving. My youngest brother, who I love dearly, I'm the oldest of four. My youngest brother was, got me a Christmas gift. Maybe because I don't have any children yet, I just really don't understand the concept. I'll just wait to the last minutes and someone gets some. Oh God, I got to go buy them some, because I don't have babies waking me up in the morning and stuff like that yet. So I went down and bought him a very nice box of cigars. And I said, that's not good enough. I put one of these in the box. He doesn't even know it yet. He hasn't opened the gift yet. I put one of these up, for his birthday. I gave him 2 of those back in August 9th. He's going to smoke those cigars up, gentlemen. They're going to literally go up in smoke, ashes. While they're doing that, this is going to literally go up in value. Okay? So, 5 years, this is worth more. This ain't going to be something like they're going to go take back. People don't return gold, ladies and gentlemen. You go into work retail place, they got all these returns. They don't return this. He could just sit this in his safe along with the rest of the gold I've given him. And his 2 babies, my niece and nephew, they can pass this on to their children's children, and it'd be worth more not then than it is right now. Keeps going up. Keeps going up. You know what, man? They're talking. Some of the projections they're talking about gold going to, Mr. Marvin. Have you been following that?
I heard that there's something called the global reset that's bound to happen, where everything's about to go to a gold standard once again. One thing I do know is that gold is mentioned a few hundred times in the Bible, so that's always been a valuable asset, even in the ancient times, just like you said.
Well, it's mentioned right there. They're talking about gold hitting over $2,000 per ounce. $2,000 per ounce.
What you say, $2,000 an ounce?
$2,000 going up over $2,000 an ounce. Those are some of the projections we're hearing.
Wow.
Okay, so when you sign up for this, I heard you say, like, you register, you get a call from King, And what follows that? Like,
well, what follows that? And Mr. King Ways, you better go ahead and sign up right now. While I'm talking, man, you better be filling your thing up, because I promise you're going to see a huge network start coming up under you. That's another thing. You get a little thing called spillover, but I can go over that. Mr. Murray can tell you about that. But what happens like that? This is a great question, and I'm speaking not only Mr. Wage, but the whole audience right here. You go ahead and register on Be the Wealthy Key, Be the Wealth Key. You register on that link. Okay, you're going to fill out your information. It's going to ask you for a username. It's going to ask you for a password, address. Fill out your thing. You got to be at least 18 years older. Then when you get down to the bottom after you put in, you finish the registration, it's going to say you're successfully registered. You go to the email that you put there. And then you quick verify your account. Now, KaratBar doesn't accept PO boxes, so don't put a PO box down for your address. And I want you to click on affiliate, not customer, because you get more benefits. After you do that, you're going to get a call from Mr. Marin. Mr. Marin is going to welcome you to his team, because you're going to literally be in his network. You're going to be a part of his network. Okay, and so then he's going to welcome you. He's going to say, "Hey, Lady Jane, awesome that you came aboard. We look forward to building wealth and helping you do it." He's going to spend his time for free. Then he's going to say, "I want you to give Mr. Fitzgerald a call. Here is his number: 1-716-573-6296. 1-716-573-6296. This is going to ring Mr. Fitzgerald Stevens' personal cell phone, not a burner phone. This is my personal cell phone. That's my personal number I gave you. And then, so what you're going to call me, you're going to say, "Hey, Mr. Fitzgerald, this is Lady Jane. I just registered up on the Be the Wealth Key." That's all you need to say to put me in motion. I, in turn, are going to show you exactly what you have. I'm going to show you how to maneuver. I'm going to show you how to upload your documents. I'm going to show you how to get on autosave. I'm going to help you build a network and, a global distribution center, all over the world, whether it be through Facebook or whether do what we're doing. Now, I hear some of you guys, maybe some of you guys like, they're like, "Man, I couldn't do what Fitzgerald is doing. Man, he sounds like he got the gift for gab." Mr. Fitzgerald don't got the gift for gab. I got the gift for eating the hot food. I got the gift for staying in a warm house when it's December. I got the gift for having shoes on my feet. I got the gift, for seeing my family prosper. I got the gift, to being able to, to have resources so I can visit my alien parents up in Alabama. I got the gift, just want to enjoy life. That's the gift I got. I just look for the vehicle to put me in a position to do it, similarly like you're doing with your job. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you. I'm going to work with you. And for those of you guys who thinking like, "Man, I can't do what he's doing." Okay. Let me do a role play. I'm going to call up Mr. Mara. "Hey, Alberto, how you doing there?"
"Oh, I'm doing good, Mr. Fitzgerald."
"Hey, man, listen, dude. Real quick, I got something you really need to take a look at. Do you look for any other ways to make money? You keep your income options open?"
Yes, I do.
"Hey, great. I'm going to text you my business link, therealmoney.info. It takes about 30 minutes to look at. It's going to explain everything. And I'm going to follow up with you, say like 6 o'clock. Would that be all right?"
"Yes."
"Will you have time to watch it?"
"Yes."
"Okay, cool. I hear you at 6 o'clock. I got to go." Got off the phone. Not one time did I let him ask me what it's about. I told him therealmoney.info is going to explain everything to him. Okay.
Right.
And so when I called 30 minutes later, here's what I say: "Mr. Martin, how are you doing?"
Great.
"Hey, real quick, did you watch the video?"
Yes.
"Hey, awesome. Do you see an opportunity for yourself?"
"Oh, of course."
"Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get your free affiliate account signed up." I go to my referral link that you get from KaratBars, and I say, "What do you want to use for your username?"
I use Q.Y.W.
"Okay, great. Okay, how about your password?"
Yeah, I'll use my mom's maiden name.
"Okay, beautiful. No, okay, so we got the address and everything. Okay, Mr. Martin, congratulations. You're in KaratBars right now. You have your own business starting. Hey, listen, what I want you to do right quick, go to your emails and click. You're going to get an email from KaratBars and click verify that link. That activates your link. Can you go do that real quick?"
"Yes, sir."
Okay. Hey, awesome. Hey, you know what? Wait a minute for a second. You know what? I'm going to call up Mr. Delco. And I just want to introduce him to you. Not him telling you. I just want to introduce him to you. So Mr. Delco has a business of over 70,000 affiliates, has made a ton of money and a lot of success. He was actually able to leave his job within 103 days by working his business. Mr. Delco is a real person. That's why he's my sponsor. But so I call up, hey, Mr. Delco, Fitzgerald, how you doing? Hey, listen, I got Mr. Marvin on the phone. He just joined KaratBars. And then so when he do that, I put my phone on mute. Why do I do that? Because I don't want to say, Mr. Delco, tell him about the goal we made. Mr. Delco, tell him we in 146 countries. Mr. Delco, tell him we all going to get rich. I don't want that. I want to cool, and I want to get Mr. Delco on. Mr. Delco is going to ask you, hey, are you looking to save in gold, gold-backed cryptocurrency, or do you want to build a global network like Mr. Stevens and I are doing? Well, which one you want to do? Mr. Marvin, are you looking to save in gold?
Oh, yes, yes, assets, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, let me go ahead and go over with the business package and explain exactly how it works. And then then what's going to happen? I'm going to switch to me now. Okay, I'm going to say, okay, what I want you guys doing, Mr. Marvin, I want your Miss Janet calling me. Miss Janet, I want you to get my direct cell number from Mr. Marvin. Miss Janet, I want you calling me, and then I'm going to train you and your team. What have I done by doing that? I taken all the pressure off of Mr. Marvin and put it on me. The reason I can flow like this so well, guys, I've been doing it 5 years. You know, I have a team of 8,000 affiliates in several countries around the earth. You know, I've already made a good deal of money, had a lot of good deal of success. But I'm certainly not going to put that man out there where he got to try to figure stuff out. That's just going to frustrate him. You know, but I'm going to plug him into the system and I'm going to help him build wealth. Why would I do that? Because he's a part of my organization who's a part of Diane Samir's organization. So if I train him wrong, I hurt myself. So there's a hidden incentive in it for me to possibly train you. And I don't charge a dime for my time. Why? Because if I do the job right, you know, when this man got 30,000, 50,000 affiliates, guess who also has 30 and 50,000 affiliates? You. Saving gold, a gold-backed cryptocurrency, tell a lot of people make a lot of money. Now, Mr. Marvin's out there making $6,000, $7,000 to $8,000 in 8,000 euros a month or a week. Like we have plenty of people in this thing. Is he going to care what my percentage is?
Nope.
You know, I mean, if we're passing each other, you know, we're passing each other in Heathrow Airport. I'm on my way to Freetown, Sierra Leone. He's on his way to Johannesburg, man. We shaking hands, brother. I see you later, man. I'm glad you do that. Hey, man, there's a little spot in New Orleans we want to get to, man, next week. Let's go ahead and do some business in our groups there. He ain't going to care. He's not going to care. People don't build this for you. They build it for their families. He's not concerned about me. Fitzgerald is cool and everything like that, and you know, and probably talk with good excitement and good energy. Great, but I'm not doing it for Mr. Fitzgerald. I'm doing this for my house. You're doing it for your house. If this is a vehicle, Mr. King Wage, to help you do it, if this is a vehicle for you, who cares? But now you got me. You got Mr. Martin. You have Mr. Diane Samir. You have Miss Denise Stevens. You have Mr. Fitzgerald Stevens. You have Michael Delco all the way up, pulling the rope for your wealth. Pulling the rope for your wealth. You know what? Y'all can't even quit this thing. Some of y'all try to say, man, I don't even want to do that. Dude, it's guys who done quit this, and they come back because they come back and their team is bigger than when they quit. Because just because you stop, they ain't going to stop. You know, just because you stopped, I'm not going to stop. You get the right two people, one on the left side and one on the right side, you know, they can set you and your family free. Just the right two people. You know, Michael Delco, someone made a call. Nate Hines made a call to him, my sponsor. That one phone call, Nate Hines was able to put about dang near 80,000 affiliates in his organization. One phone call. Michael Delco made one phone call to me. One phone call. And because of that, I was able to put 8,000 affiliates in his organization. You know, I called, Denise Stevens called up, connected with Diane Samir. Because of Diane Samir, Denise Stevens has 800 some people in her organization because what that man is moving. You know, and so what do you want? You know, in my closing, you know, what do you want? What's the vehicle to get you there? You know, if you don't have that, if you don't have a residual income, if you didn't get anything out of what I said, even if this is not for you, if you didn't get anything out of what I said, I have got to create me a residual income, and I've got to figure out a way to make money while I sleep. Because if I don't, my whole house of cards is in jeopardy. You may be highly successful, and I'm no fool. I know I'm talking to a lot of people highly successful. No, everybody I'm talking to on the stream is highly successful. I know that. I know you're busy and everything like that. I know you got things, but you got to divert some way. You got to figure out a way to get an income that's not dependent upon your work and your efforts. And if your work and efforts don't stop, your income doesn't stop. You got to have that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Mr. Marvin, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a few questions for the audience. Maybe someone has some things that, I could say. I know we went a little long. We'll shorten them up in the future. But is there any questions that you would like to, probably feel from your audience?
If anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and type it in the chat room, and I will go ahead and regurgitate that.
What's your sponsor details?
What's that?
I was asking King Wage, what's his sponsor details? I'm on the registration page.
Yeah. With that link you put in there, and then you're gonna put registration. It's gonna take you to affiliate a customer. Click affiliate and fill out the information as it's asking. Takes about 7 minutes.
Yeah, it says sponsor detail, KaratBar's ID.
So you should see Mr. Marvin's, you should see, when you click on that, what you're going to see in box number 1, be the wealth key. Then up under that, you're going to see the ID number for Be the Wealth Key. Then you're going to see a part where it says username for you and password. That's your portion to fill out.
Right.
And as soon as you finish that, you're also going to have your own link too.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be in 146 countries too.
Be the Wealth Key. Okay. Gotcha. All right.
And then, Mr. Wage, I want you to give me a call later on this evening, man, where I can go over exactly what you got, because this thing is gonna almost shock you how surprisingly simple it is.
Absolutely, I will do that. I will do that for sure. Mm-hmm. All right.
And even with the skill level that Mr. Marvin has, I still don't let him. I still don't. Let me clarify that up. I'm nobody's boss. I'm not nobody's boss. But what makes Mr. Marvin so powerful to me is that he's teachable. When his phone number comes up in my thing, man, you better believe I'm all on it. Some people, you have to look at it like, oh, dog, what this dude? I ain't here to talk about football today. But when he calls, I know he's teachable. So what I do, even though with the experience he has, I set up there, okay, this is the way you structure, follow this lead right here. This is what's going to happen. And he's doing that so far he's just seeing success about that. And so my adage is follow the leader, follow people who've already been to where you're trying to go. And, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just follow them. As long as they're ethical, morally, and have respect about how they deal with you. Just give them that respect to following. Because their job is to get you where you're going.
Right.
Cool Gen 87 say you either grow with the new or get left behind with the old. There's a new thing. There's a new thing right there. We're going to this blockchain technology. It's going to revolutionize the world. You can go in and you can see like Starbucks coffee taking Bitcoin now. You can start seeing that KaratBars is a part of that space. And so it's just exciting times.
So Mr. Fitzgerald, so pretty much we're still early in the game, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, sir.
Karat Gold right now.
Yes, sir. It's not a million affiliates in this country. It's been around since 2011. A debt-free company out of Stuttgart, Germany. It's not even a million affiliates. It's 146 nations out of 190 something around Earth. We're in 146 of them. We are paid in euros off of KaratBar MasterCard, and FedEx delivers our gold. So the credibility is all right there. Once again, it's not for everyone. I'm not looking to work for everyone, and we're definitely not want to just work with anyone. We're looking for people, who are looking to expand upon what they're already doing and minimize their taxes and create wealth and generational wealth at the same time. Where we go, KaratBar has created its own financial ecosystem. We have a system up called KaratPay that I literally can take gold out of my KaratPay account and transfer it to Mr. Martin's account. I could take gold and transfer to pay for goods and services that we have. We have our own blockchain with KaratBit that we can trade Ethereum, our KCB token, and our KCB token. Litecoin. We have all that. We're going to come out with a static blockchain. And a static blockchain means that you could put a lot of other goods and services through that, as opposed to just one central thing, and then we could charge fees for that. And as that chain start increasing, as more goods start coming out of the KaratBar pipeline, you position yourself early. You're gonna do extraordinary wealth financially. We also have our own ATM machines that dispense both Bitcoin, Ethereum, cash, all that kind of stuff, as far as we're coming out. We're paid on our MasterCard in euros that we can use that for goods and services and stuff. We have our own blockchain crypto phone. Imagine having this that runs over the blockchain, that's practically unhackable, multiple SIM card uses, and it puts your phone bill down to like $15 a month, and you can call all over the world from satellite and blockchain technology. Wow. Imagine that. Okay, so I have mine in shortly. That's already ordered, and many other products. We also have our own blockchain computer, WIM computer that runs over the blockchain. So no one can tap into that. If the blockchain is coded by a special key, even if you find my phone and you don't have that key, you can't get into it. You can't do it. And so it gives the ultimate privacy, and so we have so many things that Dr. Harold Sykes and his team is coming up through here. All we're doing is just position ourselves. How would you have like to have been on a wave of Google when they first started? Oh, how about Netflix, who I realized have had something like a 2,000% growth since they came out? Reed Hastings and those guys are doing pretty good. How about Facebook? How would you have like to have been one of the 5 guys and that Mark Zuckerberg bought over dorm room, but only 2 of them showed up? The two that showed up, they're billionaires right now. How would you like to be in the beginning of something like something at the beginning stage of that? You are. Now, if you're a man like me, you think, okay, I got the money. What if the company does so and so? Well, what if this and what if that? Okay, I still can pull my euros out, and I can pull my cash out, and I can put that money in other instrument vehicles. So I'm not at the mercy of anything. I can use my money to make more money for me in other streams: real estate, laundromats, employeeless parking lots. I got in that when I used to live in Atlanta. The parking lot hustle, man, that you just get you a good lot across a hospital, something like that, get a good piece of property. Put an automated arm in there where they can swipe, man. That's just mince money. So it's a lot of things you can look at that bring you money. You can start your Amazon blog. You can start your YouTube channel. Anything that allows you to grab money in, to grab money without using the archaic ways of going up and down the street and trading your time for dollars. This is a global community now. Your special shea butter that you have, or your special hair grease, or your special chicken sauce, you don't just gotta sell it across the neighbors to your street. You put up a website and you got the world is your community. Whatever you do, the world becomes your community. You can sit right up in the homes like Mr. Morrow and I are doing, and you can literally reach the world, and you can do the exact same thing with KaratBars. We have an affiliate. In the Southwest, named Miss Tanisha Glaspie. Mr. Morrow, she sponsored over 400-some people alone off of Facebook in her business. Wow. It's if it's those of us who want it. KaratBars doesn't care if you're a man or woman. It don't care if you're gay or you're straight. It don't care if you're divorced or you're married. It don't care if you got a criminal record or you don't. What it doesn't care about is your hustle. Your ability to bring value to the marketplace. And if you can do that, this is definitely the business for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree. I'm signed up already. I just registered up under you, so.
Well, what I want you to do afterwards, you give me a call, give me a call. Wait about an hour. I got to go ahead and get something to eat real quick and charge us straight. Literally, guys, I got phone calls coming from all over the world. Ghana, Switzerland, England. It's cats over there in London right now want me to come over to do business with them. It's cats over there right now in Ghana want me to do business with them. South Africa, Cape Town want me to do business with them because they know I'm sincere. They see I'm helping make money. Man, I got people out there, inviting me for, the with their homes and take care of me and stuff. They know I'm out there to make money. Australia, Trinidad. It's in all over the thing. So I can literally say I have all these people in Canada. I have all these organizations all over the world. And I never left my house. The only foreign country I've ever been to is Canada. I've got a global community. I don't got to get on a plane to go over there. I want to eventually go see them. I want to eventually to see them. But all I got to do is send, hey, do you look for ways to make money? Yeah. Send my link by email or WhatsApp. They get in, they decide to get a package, and boom, Mr. Morrow, we're paid just over here in Tampa, Florida, and Oakland, California, just like that.
Right.
That's a powerful thing. That's a powerful thing, man. Dude, I'm not bragging, but this is honest to God truth. A friend of mine, Diane Samir, who's Mr. Morrow's sponsor. I was wiped out yesterday. I took a nap, and when I woke up, I was over 400 euros richer. I didn't go to sleep about an hour. I was over 400 euros richer.
Oh, that's crazy.
I called Dynas and said, man, check your back office. He said, man, Fitzgerald already checked it. Check your back office. So he had that. Mr. Marvin, with that VIP, every time you get 25 units on one side of your team, 50 units on your other side, with people buying gold, buying packages, buying whatever comes to this, the computers, the phone. Every time that 25 units on one side, 50 units on your other side with your business account, you're going to get 100. You're going to get something like 80 euros. Well, that's going to generate a euro payout to your gold personal account. Guess what? You put yourself in a position to get 60 euros from that. Plus, you're going to get the units from it. So you double dipping on all your money. All you got to do is just build the other side, and that's what it is. And so while you sitting in Oakland, man, or you giving seminars or whatever you do, this thing is, you're checking your back office, and once this thing gets rolling, it will stagger you.
I had a question. So, what was the question? Lost my train of thought.
Take your time.
I lost my train of thought. My goodness.
It'll come back to you. Yeah. Just take your time.
Right.
No. Save a lot of gold. Tell a lot of people.